I nearly had 2 mics on. That would have been vaguely unpleasant. Hello, good evening. Greetings. Hello. Hello, Arat. Hello, Horo. Hello, Hugs. Hello, Pluvium. Hello, Frederick. Hello. Greetings. Greetings and salutations. Let me open. There we go. Hello. Hello. How's everyone been? It'd be a tri-normal stream. I mean, I guess it would add like another dimension, since the normal mic doesn't have any kind of audio direction, I guess. But hello, Tabaha. But yeah, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. Hello. I hope you're all doing okay. It's been a few days. The week is passing so fast. I actually feel like I haven't got as much done as I wanted to get done, and we're at the halfway point with this, but it's fine. I know I'm meant to be relaxing and not working on stuff, but also imagine that. Imagine working on things and not just actually taking a real break. Fake. It's fake. No one does that. But yeah, oh, where's my book? It's an interesting point that my book has been anchored onto to rotate like that, but okay, I'm not gonna question it. So fingers getting better yet? They're a bit better, yeah. They're still a little swollen, but it warmed up. It got back above double digits in the centigrade. It's America's turn now. It's America's turn to freeze to death. I've seen the pictures of the storm that's apparently going to make it like -70 in some places in the US. If you're American, it is your turn to freeze to death. Don't be like me. Fortunately, I have now gotten all the drawing that I needed to do done, so my fingers can actually rest. Not after trying and undraw. I accept this fate. Better than too hot? Yes. Yes. By far. By far. I think I might have described it. On Twitter, being too warm is like... being too warm is like slowly like having an ache. It's just like taking over everything. Meanwhile, cold is like being stabbed just very slightly. And I do prefer the cold feeling, and it is easier to beat the cold feeling. At least I can do things when it's cold. When it's summer, I just feel dead. It's like, ah yes, this is the weather for me to lie on the floor and be dead. I don't think that song will hit me, unfortunately. Oh, I read it as unfortunately. I was like, you want to be hit by the storm? You want to feel the forces of nature? I know. I need the storm to kill me. I feel like your state has other things that can kill you than storms. By the way, his teeth are super. Thank you. Yeah, Joza did a really good job with this model. Teeth. Although, gosh, it was actually Joza's, I think, her 2-year anniversary a couple days ago, and she's made some changes to her model, and also made a Vroid model that doesn't look like Vroid and is really cool. And this might be weird. Is it weird? I was sitting there like comparing teeth. Like I was looking at like her teeth and the way her mouth worked and comparing it to mine. Might be one of the weirder things I've done, but it's fine. All right. Anyway, it's not like I was chatting, so I wouldn't have accidentally said anything about teeth. Hello, so cute as well. Hello. Who's to say what's weird? I just feel like commenting on teeth. Out of all the things, like to be sitting there comparing your teeth with someone, I feel that's in a category of are you okay? But yeah, I was just looking at least, so I didn't end up saying anything awkward about teeth. Anyway, ignoring that. Does she have a cute row of tiny upper teeth too? No, Joza has her upper teeth are more of a block. They don't have the same detail. That's a lie. Okay, I have a confession to make. I've been obviously lurking in my own Twitch chat, because I keep an eye on it. Because you're actually meant to... Fun Twitch fact. You're actually meant to moderate your chat all of the time. Like, if stuff happens in your offline chat that is against TOS, and you don't moderate that, even when you're offline, you can get told off for it. But I was lurking in my own chat earlier and ended up playing and utterly defeating blue rats in Connect 4 earlier. Can you really say that a cat that absolutely kills a rat in Connect 4 is that cute, or is that murder? I think it's murder. I come in and throw things at you? You do. That's true. You do come in and throw things at me. Can chat to purity offline. Not all the time. I'm not always like paying 100% attention to it. But technically, yeah, I sometimes. Yeah, I didn't go through my plan to spam I love purity in offline chat. I mean, you're allowed to do it. I would have seen it and been like, huh, okay. You can leave messages, sort of. Yeah, sometimes. If you leave them while I'm offline, I'll miss them. But sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah, don't same with every other way of messaging me, don't expect a response. Either way, we have a little bit more of the story of Tomoda and Matsunaga to finish today. We had a little bit of the chapter left since we started chapter 5 last week. We've got a few pages left. Have a bot record every message? Oh god, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, if someone wants to say at like what's the time that I'm not gonna be awake? If someone wants to go into my chat at 11 AM and say something free from my eyes, I guess they're free to do so. It is actually interesting checking my chat sometimes and seeing who else is lurking in there. There's actually some unexpected faces. You expect bots to be lurking at all times, but sometimes I see a real person and I'm like, what are you doing here? What? Huh? It's fine. The intricacies. Alright, call them out. Alright. Well, they don't even come to this. They don't even come to my YouTube streams. No, I've seen Naglafar dreams just sitting in my offline chat, like on days that I don't even stream, and I'm just there like, huh? What? But they're valid. It is permitted to do so. I just find it interesting. That's probably just Chatterino? What is Chatterino? Is there some kind of program that people use to to multi-stream drift? Is this something I don't know? What's Chatterino? To multi. Oh my god! There's the technology in multi-drifting! Oh my god. What the hell? I never realized there was such multi-stream technology. Oh my god. I'm out here, we're just having like 2 tabs open with streamers I want to watch and occasionally muting one to unmute the other to listen in, to then mute them and then listen to the other again. Oh my god, I never realised there was such technology. Okay. Well, I'll leave. Well, Naglafar's not a viewer. She's a streamer. And I will leave viewer kind to their technologies beyond my understanding. For now, we will read. I will probably finish before the end of stream, and so we'll just be able to carry on chatting after that. So. Just as normal, a viewer kind good. No! Viewer kind good. Viewer kind good. Streaming is not for everyone, and that's okay. Someone's got to do the viewing, right? No, viewer's good. Viewer love. Alright. But yeah, as normal, I will catch up on it with everything that was said in chat once I finish the end of the chapter. If you are going to be heading to bed or anything like that, please do feel free. do not have the ability to redirect, so there will be none of that, so you shouldn't get woken up at all. If I need to adjust the volume at any time, please do let me know. Yeah. But if you are heading to bed, then I hope you sleep well. If you are working or studying or anything like that, I hope it goes well. Although I really hope that you're not having to maybe background down a bit. Oh, okay. That's a little bit. Do I need to turn it down anymore, or do you think it's really hard for me to tell? It's really hard for me to tell how loud background music is a lot of the time. One more. One more. I have committed one more down. Alright, nice. Okay. So, we will finish off the story. I nearly just lost my page. We will finish off the chapter, the story, and then we will talk. Because I always end up going on tangents during these streams. Alright. Just to catch up real quick of what happened in the chapter beforehand. Tomoda is explaining to our narrator friend, his story of how he was Matsunaga and he travelled to the west, took part in all the indulgences and depravity of the west, and then started to be struck by nervous breakdowns and panic attacks, and a voice in his head telling him that he needed to return to Japan, that he wasn't meant to be here indulging in all the Western stuff. So we are just about to head back to Japan with him. I took passage on a steam packet. I stood on deck and watched the port of Marseille recede into the distance. Half of me felt a rush of liberation. The other half felt as though I was being dragged away, kicking and screaming. Do you remember the first time we met at Café Konosu towards the end of 1908? That was just after I came home. I disembarked in Kobe and came straight to Tokyo without letting the family know I was back. I still had a bit of fight left in me. I couldn't face the thought of crawling back home and begging for forgiveness. I visited a few people I knew in Tokyo, but none of them recognized me. I decided to recuperate in a hot springs resort and find some way of getting back to Europe. Then I met you and introduced myself as Tomoda Ginzo, the first time I had ever used the alias. But my recovery didn't go as well as I had hoped. In fact, my health was getting worse all the time. I lost my appetite and my libido. I was reduced to teetotalism. Even the brandy I'd been using for our lift now only increased my fear. From the end of that year till the following autumn, I visited most of the major hot spring resorts in Japan: Hakone, Ikaho, Beppu. Near the end, I went into seclusion in a place no one's ever heard of, in the mountains of Shinsu. I lived like a Zen monk, miles away from any stimulation. But it did no good. I was wasting away. I could hardly muster the strength to walk. Climbing stairs exhausted me. I can't take much more of this, I thought. I started to dream of home. If I could just make it back home, with my wife to take care of me, maybe I'd have a chance of recovery. Tears flooded my eyes as I remembered everything I'd left behind. An image came to me of the night 3 years earlier, when my wife and I had said goodbye. I could see her in front of me, sobbing silently, the tears streaming down her cheeks. And then I remembered, she'd been pregnant when I left home. Barring accidents, the child would be nearly 4 by now. I could picture the scene vividly. the little child with its arms open wide, calling out in a feeble voice for a father who never came home. And I seemed to hear my wife comforting the child she clutched to her breast. There, it's all right. Daddy will be home soon. Waves of homesickness washed over me. Eventually, I could barely stand. I spent whole days in bed, shivering under the blankets. One day, I held up the mirror I kept by my bedside, expecting to be horrified by how much weight I had lost. But what I saw was worse than that. The face that stared back at me wasn't mine at all. The hollow cheeks, the thick whiskers, that skin color, those eyes. I had seen this face before. I had changed again. Matsunaga Gisuke was back. I felt a shock that was double what I'd felt that night in Paris. Without realizing it, I had been transformed for the man I thought I was. No, the man I knew I was. Jack Smordin, that man of indeterminate race and nationality, who could have been Japanese, Italian, or Spanish. Tomada Ginzo, as you knew him later. That was the man I had been until... when? As recently as the previous year, at least. And now I was transformed back into Matsunaga again. What did it mean? Which was the real me? And was there anyone else out there like me, blessed or cursed with a body that could change from one person to another within the space of 12 months? Impelled by some strange force, Tomada Ginzo hardly paused to draw breath. He leaned in close and went on with his story. But that's not the end. All I wanted to do was go home and live out the rest of my life as a loving husband and father. One day, I'd be buried there, in the earth that had borne me. But you already know what happened next. As Shigeko wrote in her letter, I spent the next few years, from the autumn of 1909 to the spring of 1912, back in Yagyu, living the quiet life of a country gentleman. It was dull, to be sure, but solitude and quiet were just what I needed. It did my nerves good and helped me to shake off the anxiety that had weighed on me so heavily for so long. The area is full of temples and sightseeing spots, perfect for soothing the mind. The plum blossoms at Tsukigase in March, the Yoshino cherry blossoms in April, the wisteria in Nara in May, along with all the spring buds and fresh grasses. Together with my wife and daughter, I visited the temples of Nara in the spring sunshine. Nanendo, Todaiji, Yakushiji, Horyuji, and as the three of us stood together in the halls of those ancient temples, hands clasped in prayer before the holy images, I felt my emotions rise. This was where I truly belonged, here back at home in the East. My parents had paid their respects in these same temples. They, too, had prayed in front of these images. For generations, my ancestors had bowed their heads here in the same spot where I now prayed with my own family. I looked up at the face of the Buddha and imagined an unbroken line of ancestors stretching back through all the generations, looking down on us as we prayed. I was moved to tears. All my anxiety was gone, and there seemed to be no reason why I shouldn't live the rest of my life here in this country. But of course, it's no secret what happened next. During the 4th year after my return, I started to notice an unexpected change coming over me again. At my weakest, I'd weighed as little as 90 pounds, but I'd started to put on weight again, slowly at first, so that it was barely noticeable, until I was about 110 pounds. And then my taste started to change. Living in the country, we never ate meat at home. Even our fish we rarely ate raw. Normally we stuck to a steady diet of miso soup, pickles, fruit and vegetables. For a time after I got back, this was just what I needed. But after a while, my palate cried out for a change. I longed for something rich and greasy. I couldn't go on eating the same meal 3 times a day. I felt I would starve. I would sigh as the familiar lacquer tray was set down in front of me again, and memories would assail me of the Chateaubriand steaks and the steaming bowls of bouillabaisse I enjoyed in Paris. I longed to eat till my stomach swelled. I wanted food that could burn my tongue and warm my blood. Hunger is an irresistible force. I knew that my whole life would start to crumble unless that hunger was satisfied. I set out for Nara or Osaka with nothing but food on my mind, determined to get my fill of nourishment. Turtle, eel, beef sukiyaki, I stuffed myself with all the food I could take. And then I tried drinking again. I ended my abstinence in a restaurant in Osaka, not without a sense of trepidation. I was worried that the taste of alcohol might trigger another breakdown. But nothing happened. I looked down. I looked up. I spun and I danced. I skipped and I jumped. No dizziness, no nausea, no hot flushes, nothing. Lifts? No problem. Whizzing along in a car was a pleasure. I'm cured. I'm free. That awful cowardice has left me in peace at last. I shouted for joy. And out of my intoxication that night was born a creature of insatiable appetites, with a heart that hungered for excess. After everything I've said, I'm sure you can guess what made me leave home again that summer. For all the same reasons as before, I started to loathe my quiet life in the country, the provincial dullness of the village, of Japan, the whole restrained oriental approach to life. I started to think obsessively about Suzanne's white skin. I longed to breathe the gay nighttime air of Montmartre. I wanted to live as Jacques Mordan again. But this time I couldn't just set sail for Europe. I didn't have that kind of money anymore. Several times I came close to just going anyway. I could always scrape together enough for a one-way ticket, I thought, even if it meant travelling third class. But after the disastrous end to my first trip, I didn't dare to leave with no money. My breakdown had taught me my lesson, and I was in no hurry to have another. And I still had my misgivings, in spite of my contempt for the East. I was determined that the last time I left, it would be forever. I would spend the rest of my life in Europe, and never set foot on Japanese soil again. But I couldn't help worrying, a typical Japanese failing, that I might land in Europe with no money to buy drinks or food worth eating. I worried that my physical strength might start to weaken as it did before. What would happen if the panic and fear attacked me again? I told my wife I had to leave for 3 or 4 years, and asked her to wait for me. I'm not sure where I'm going, I said, but if I survive, I'll be back. I set out for Shanghai with just under 2,000 yen in cash. I knew that it was possible to live a good Western-style life in Shanghai. In some ways, it was almost better than Paris. My original plan was to try Shanghai for a while and see how I reacted. If there was no relapse and no homesickness, I would find a way to get to Europe from there. I spent my 2,000 yen in no time. But as luck would have it, a bewitching American girl I met there fell in love with me, and I started working as her pimp. As you know, a pimp is like a cross between a kept man and a booking agent. She took me on, and with the help of a couple of other girls, we managed to get a shady little business going. I won't go into too much detail about our dealings, but suffice to say that there are white working girls, as they call them, in every port of the East, and that their employers know one another and cooperate closely. A lot of girls are constantly on the move from one port to the next. Yokohama, Kobe, Tianjin, Shanghai, Singapore, Hong Kong. Some of the bigger businesses cover the whole network, the same house holding what you might call branch offices in every port. The thought of getting caught up in this world horrified me at first, but I was going to starve if I didn't find some way to make money, and I wasn't really cut out for anything else. And besides, I thought, I might even end up enjoying it, surrounded by women and drink, doing whatever I wanted and earning a bit of money at the same time. It could be worse. I planned to stick it out for a couple years and then wash my hands of it and leave for Europe once I'd saved up enough money. Well, that was the plan. And that's how things stood when I came back to Japan in the spring of 1913. It was one of our old haunts that brought me over. Number 10 in Yokohama was up for sale, and I came with a view to buying the property and setting it up as a branch of my Shanghai operations. Nostalgia was not what brought me back this time. I was here as an agent to do business in a particular Oriental market, which happened to be the port of Yokohama. I stopped using the Matsunaga name before I left for Shanghai, and took to introducing myself by the alias I used at random the night I met you, Tomoda Ginzo. I'd half expected that my appearance might undergo the same changes as last time, and as I suspected, it was only a matter of time before I started to fill out again. I wasn't disappointed. After a year of heavy eating and drinking, I swelled out like a rubber ball. The little man who left Japan a mere 100 pounds came back to Yokohama weighing 170, tying my old record. I marched proudly into Tokyo, and that's when I met you again, that night in the Ginza, at the Café Liberté. I'll leave it to your imagination to fill in what happened next. You're a novelist, and now that I've told you this much about my remarkable life, the rest of the plot pretty much writes itself. Essentially, my body has continued to undergo the same transformation every 4 years or so. I swing between two extremes. At my thinnest, I get down to 90 pounds. At my biggest, I weigh 170. As soon as my weight falls below 100 pounds, I start to long for my gloomy old house in the country. I feel an aching nostalgia for pure Japanese culture. I grow sentimental, and I transform back into Matsunaga Gisuke, in looks, in build, and in personality. I go home to Yagyu and take up my quiet, peaceful life again. But as my health recovers, my zest for life returns too. The first thing to come back is my appetite, ravenous, insatiable, and impossible to ignore. My libido is never far behind. Eastern culture starts to disgust me, and I feel my spirit revolting against the restrained life again. My weight begins to creep up. Before I balloon out to my full size, I run away from home. I cross over to Shanghai, pick up a few old contacts and start up in business again. Within a year, I am back to 165 pounds. I turn into Tomoda again, and come back to Yokohama to set up a branch of my business here. I live as a businessman, looking after my interests in China and Japan. This has been my life for the past 14 years, a series of changes that dates back to 1912. I know what you must be thinking. Why did I never go back to Europe? It wasn't financial restraints that kept me here. I made more than enough money. The World War that broke out in 1914 was one factor. That made immigration procedures more difficult. But the truth was that I had all the white women I wanted. It didn't make much difference where I was. Yokohama and Shanghai were like Paris to me. You've seen the photographs, you know what it was like. No restraints, no limits, no questions asked. I didn't need to become Jax Morin again. I had everything I needed as Tomoda Ginzo, or Tom as the girls called me. In many ways, it was even better this way. And so, in spite of my good intentions, I never did make a clean break. I decided I preferred to stay and continue my work here rather than travelling all the way to Europe again. So when Number 10 closed down in 1915, I deposited the money I made from the sale with a bank in Shanghai. I withdrew it again 4 years later and invested it in Number 27. It must have been around that time that Tomoda started to appear for the 3rd time at the Café Plaisantine in the Ginza. I had been sitting quietly, listening to him tell the remarkable story of his life, but at this point I interrupted him with a question. Were you running those places too? The Plaisantine and the Liberté? No. The Liberté just happened to be open for business at the same time as number 10. Same with the Pleasant Inn. It just happened to coincide with number 27. I had nothing to do with either of them. The waiters there didn't really know who I was or what I was doing, although a few of them probably had their suspicions. But what were you doing in such places like that anyway? I thought you'd want to avoid Japanese company as much as possible in your Tomada phase. Ah, yes, I knew I was forgetting something important. I had heard a rumor that you used to frequent the Liberté from time to time. It was in hope of meeting you that I started to go there. I wanted to tell my story to a writer, the story of my life, which seems incredible even to me. The same goes for the things Shigeko found in my bag. The seal, the ring, the photographs, the postcard from you. What do you think they were there for? I used to sell everything I owned when it was time for me to turn to Matsunaga, but I never let go of what was in that bag. And I wasn't even just holding on to them just as souvenirs. A man never knows when his number might be up, but I made sure that if anything happened to me in this country, my secret would still come out in the end. So why didn't I own up when you confronted me in the Pleasant Inn? You took me too much by surprise, suddenly whipping out that photo of us on our pilgrimage. I thought you must have seen through half my secret already. At first I was shocked, but then I started to resent you. And not just you. I was angry at Shigeko too, for taking matters into her own hands by writing that letter. I'd had no idea she'd been poking around in that bag till I heard it from you. So, if I seemed a bit stubborn that night, that's why. And what about that night at number 27? Was that just stubbornness too? No, I was terrified. The news from home had triggered a relapse. I was suffering panic attacks and had a terrible premonition that I was going to start losing weight again. I managed to get through that night somehow thanks to the booze, but the next day I had a full-blown attack. My weight started to drop, and 12 months later I was back in the country again. And the man I met in Yagyu 2 years ago, that was you, wasn't it? Yes, of course. Or perhaps not. Who can say? Tomada set down yet another glass of cognac. Maybe Tomada and Matsunaga are really two different people after all. In terms of personality, they could hardly be more different. When one of them is around, the other is nowhere to be seen. They take turns possessing this fellow we call me. That's the best explanation I've been able to come up with anyway. He held out in his hand the amethyst ring. Look, he said, I use the ring to monitor my weight. At the moment, I'm 100% Tomada. There's not a trace of Matsunaga in me. As long as the ring is wedged on like that, biting into the flesh so that you couldn't get off my finger if you tried, I know that my weight is holding steady at around 165 pounds. So you're still travelling between Shanghai and Yokohama on business, I take it? Yokohama's finished since the earthquake. I'm working out of Kobe this time. Sometimes I wonder, though, what will become of me at the end? How long can this go on? I'm 45 this year. In another 3 or 4 years, I'll be Matsunaga again. Somehow, I get the feeling that this time will be the last. I was in Yokohama more often than Shanghai last time around. I was worried that my attacks might start up sooner than usual if I went any further from Japan. And now I'm based in Kobe, even closer to Matsunaga's village. A sad expression came into his eyes as he spoke. But even so, Tomada Ginzo still looked a good 3 or 4 years younger than 45 to me. And that's where it ends, rather abruptly. There are a lot of really don't take my reading of this out of context. There's a lot of really bad quotes. There's a lot of really, really bad quotes. the end, and yeah, that is the end of the story of Tomoda and Matsunaga. Matsunaga would be a furry if he was born. I hate that. I hate that. Thanks. Next. I don't think any of these stories are short enough for me to read in 20 minutes, to be honest. I did call it about correctly. I did call it relatively right where I stopped last time. Yeah, I think the next stories in the book are either an hour long or longer. Oh, that being said, actually, I am visiting my father for Christmas. I am going to go see him, which means I will get to go into the loft and go find all of my old books. And so, probably on Monday. Yeah, probably on Monday I will, or maybe, at the start of next week, I will put a poll on Discord. Why are you all asking me about the PS3? I'll put a poll on Discord explaining what books we have to choose from that we can read next. So we'll pause the short stories and read something long form again. Okay, the PS3, because it is currently in for he knows that the PS3 his PS3 is in for repairs. He knows that it's broken and that it's getting repaired at the moment. He doesn't know I have my own PlayStation. But yeah, he knows. He thinks I broke it a couple weeks ago. He thinks I broke it a couple weeks ago, and I've sent it for repairs now. And then when it arrives, I'm gonna give it back to him. And then I'm gonna get my PlayStation and put it back on the where it belongs on my desk. So yeah, he knows that it broke, and it's being fixed. It all worked out pretty well. Back to CX and PS3 and PS2 separately. No. Nah, it's fine. It's all getting sorted, and hopefully this place is also going to be able to recover my Dark Cloud disc out of the PlayStation. I want to play Dark Cloud. I want to play Dark Cloud. I didn't get to play it, and I immediately got stuck in the freaking yellow light of death PlayStation. God damn. It's fine. So yeah, that is everything. He took the news pretty well, knowing that it's being fixed. And then I'm gonna give it back to him, and I'm literally never gonna look at his PlayStation again, and if it breaks again while in his care, that's his problem, not mine. Because my PlayStation has a guarantee on it. So yeah, that's the kind of where we're at with the PlayStation. It all something all's well that ends well. What a saga, the Puri PS3 saga. I don't know if it's much of a saga, but there's the story. But yeah, all's well that ends well, and that's what matters. He's gonna get his PlayStation back working. I'm going to not end up in loads of trouble. He might end up taking some of his games back. I don't actually have that many PlayStation 2 games that are just belong to me. So I don't know which ones he's gonna take back, if any. He does have some games that I don't have any interest in taking. Loads of trouble? Yeah. Not like what's a synonym? Like I just thought I was gonna be I thought I was gonna be told off for breaking his PlayStation. CX of Mark loads down, look after the holidays. I will. Yeah, I might have to go on a bit of a buying spree of PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 3 games, and maybe even try and get some PlayStation 1 games. Have I ever played a PlayStation 1 game? I don't know. Those for 50p, are they good games? Are they good games for 50p though? Most of the time the 50p ones are like FIFA. Yeah, I'm not interested in buying every year of FIFA for 50p each. I'm good. Hockey Sim 93, nice. Yeah, Tiger Woods Golfing Simulator 04, Basketball 91. Yeah, I'm not really the ones I'm after, to be honest. Yeah, I'll see if I can replace a bunch of the games that he's gonna want to take back. Though I found out, I did a bit of finding. Apparently, Castlevania Curse of Darkness costs over £100. That's quite a lot of money. In fact, the one we have, which is the one with manual, with the manual still in it, is about £130. That's a lot of money for a Castlevania game that I have here. Like this, I'm holding. I'm holding. That's the weird 3D one, right? Castlevania Curse of Darkness. It is 3D. It's the one where you play Hector instead of one of the Belmonts, and you have the innocent devil pets. I don't think it's weird. It's not weird, right? I haven't played many Castlevania games, but which one's the one I really hate? I played one on PC that I really hate, and I never want to. Lords of Shadow. Fucking hate that. Fucking hate Lords of Shadow. Gah. Gah. Guitar Hero stream. They're cheap on, but do they come with the? Do they come with guitar? Can you just buy? Because I feel like you can just buy the game for pretty cheap. Your Rule 63 Hector? No, I'm not. I have white hair. That doesn't make. Am I? White hair Chuny? He's not a Chuny. He's a wife man. He's a wife man. He. I don't think he's a Chuny. I'd say Isaac is more of a Chuny. Also, I'm a cat. I'm not like Hector at all. I can't even summon innocent devils. I think that sucks. I should be able to summon things, but I'm not allowed to do that. It is against my contract to summon especially devils. That is especially against my contract. The N64 one though? Hold on. Sorry I moved to this here whenever I use my computer, it's because I have to like lean forward to use my mouse. Curie law specialists, write that down. Oh, Castlevania. Oh, 64. Oh, I've never seen this one before. Can't summon devils, not a Selkie. Yes, those are both true. True. You know, apparently Castlevania 64 is the first 3D game in the series, but it was only for Nintendo 64. Nothing else. And as someone who's never played, my first Nintendo anything was a Nintendo DSi. And then a 3DS. And then I had a Nintendo Wii U for like a month. I never really was like a big Nintendo person, really. I never had much Nintendo stuff. What's your favourite Castlevania game? Curse of Darkness. Curse of Darkness for sure. And I haven't played a lot of them, so it's not a true I don't have a lot of opinions on the whole series. But I like playing as Hector. And the Innocent Devils. I've been meaning to play one of the more recent ones, but the thing is, Lords of Shadow put me off so much that I was like, do I want to play one of the other newer Castlevania games if they're more like if they're more like Lords of Shadow, because I hated it so much. It's like I don't want to taint my own opinion of Castlevania, if that makes sense. Yeah. I should probably try one of the 2D games at some point. I don't know why I could play that on though. Are there any 2D games on Steam? Or would I be forced to emulate? I feel like I would be forced to emulate. Have you played Symphony of the Night? I haven't, although I do hear about that one a lot. Yeah, which ones are on Steam? Castlevania. No, not Dead Cells. Oh, you can. There's the Anniversary Collection. So you can play the older ones. It's on sale. I'm gonna think about it. Has it got Steam trading cards? Nope. Okay. That's why Metroidvania has Vania. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, it's Symphony of the Night. No, Symphony of the Night's not on Steam. What is it for? What console? What console is Symphony of the Night for? PlayStation. So that's gonna be the first PlayStation. PlayStation 3s can play PlayStation 1 games, right? I've never tried to play a PlayStation 1 game in the fat PlayStation 3, so I don't actually know if it works. Looks like there's a few Castlevania collections on Steam. Oh, is there a few? Maybe it's included in one of the group things. Downloaded it. Can you put the disc in? Does it allow you to put? I like physical games. That should be part of your PS3's PS2 emulation. Oh, okay. Watch this like cost a small fortune. Symphony of the not night. Well, yes, night, not however I try to spell it. Symphony of the Night. Holy. Okay, I'm not getting a physical copy. I am not. Ooh. The PS1 version, yeah, it is. PS1 Symphony of the Night, the cheapest one you can get, £400. Wow, that's okay, noted. Noted, very much. I'm gonna replica on it, see something about say sheets, your physical design. No, I'll have to at some point when I get my PlayStation set back up, because I had to unplug it to hide it. Like because obviously I've sent my dad's off to be repaired, but he came to pick up the mattress, and he was gonna pick up the PlayStation at the same time. So I had to hide my PlayStation, so I had to unplug it and hide it under my bed so that he wouldn't find it. How did telling the truth go? So I mentioned it earlier, but I told him that I only broke his PlayStation a couple weeks ago, and that it's in for repairs now, which it is. It is legitimately in for repairs now. Truth is a strong word. I told him that I broke it. I might have not told him the right time frame. I might have not told him the right time frame that I broke it, but I did tell him. And it is in for repairs, and when it comes back from the repair shop, he will get his PlayStation back. But yeah, because he doesn't know that I have my own, he doesn't know that I bought my own PlayStation. I had to hide it. So I don't have it plugged in right now. It is under my bed, out of sight. Listen. There's one thing I can't deal with. I can't deal with getting told off. I can't deal with getting told off. Period. Desperate to play FIFA 2016 as soon as possible. And more likely Skyrim, knowing him. Why would you be scared of him knowing you have your own play? Oh, it's fine. No. I'm not. Once his PlayStation is back from the repair shop, then it'll be fine. That it'd be like, oh no. I bought my own after you mentioned that you wanted it back. Something Christmas something. You're acting like a kid, emotional. Shut. I can't deal with getting in trouble. My dad's scary. I don't want him to be mad at me, so I can't. Fury Dad doesn't watch your streams? Nope. The only time he ever watched one of my streams was when my mum was watching my stream, and my mum was at his house and commented that I was playing Castlevania, and my dad immediately took the time to go, haha, you can't, you're failing at this, boss. And I was like, fuck, because that's how it is. Cringe kegger. My dad's eyes, he knows I've always been cringe. My family know better than anyone else that I am cringe. I got a friend, she's down and told her parents she divorced 10 years ago? Wow. But yeah, I can't, if I get in trouble with my dad, I'll cry. I have cried. It's not good. I don't like it. So, it's fine. Anyway, like I said, all is well that ends well. And it does. He gets his PlayStation back once it's been fixed. I get to use my PlayStation that I bought. And everything will be fine. I wasn't pulling a smug enough expression. I needed to become more smug. You really are an anime character? What do you mean? What does that mean? I don't know what the... You're straight out of K-On! Or something? How? You've heard of cute girls doing cute things. Now get ready for cute cats lying. Just doing a whole bunch of lying. Big Yui energy? Maybe. Do I have Yui energy? Cute cats doing cute things. Cute things like lying. Tomfoolery. Lying is cute when anime. Not even, I don't know this character. I don't know the character. This doesn't feel like a real person. Playing WoW all night. Real. I'm now level 66 in Classic. I'm approaching Wrath of the Lich King. Hey. Your lies are so passive it doesn't appear. Is that... I can't tell if that's an insult or a compliment. Man. I want to try Dragonflight, I got a trial, I just know what will happen when I buy it. But I've even found the perfect way to describe it. No, okay, listen, okay, in, I think it's 11 days time, I will no longer be playing World of Warcraft because my subscription will run out, and I will decide that, oh, I should probably, not play World of Warcraft all the time, because I will have important things to do, like streaming. And maybe I'll go back into my old school RuneScape phase. Who knows? WoW streamer? I can't become a full-time WoW streamer. Streaming it is very weird for me. I don't know how you guys feel when I play World of Warcraft. 'Cause I love World of Warcraft. It's a series that, you know, I've played since I was a kid and has a lot of sentimental value to me. And I feel like as a streamer, I don't stream it very well, if that makes sense. I don't really know what like the correct way to stream World of Warcraft is. That's kind of my dilemma for that. Had to quit a dungeon halfway because of a fire alarm and I was scared to play again. Maybe Classic? That's what I'm doing. I'm currently going through No, I just finished Zangarmarsh. Like, even though I've grown to accept the streamer guild will never happen. The problem is when you stream boring stuff like see, I don't know what's I don't know what the interesting part of World of Warcraft is, because streaming the actual story leveling experiences, you'll be fine. You think? Because I always worry about streaming like story, because a lot of people, when I see other people playing the story of MMOs, they're always like, oh whatever, I just skip the quest text and the story and everything. But I don't always read all of the quest text, but I do pay attention to the dialogue that's being said. But then also as a streamer, you kind of have to like talk. I don't want to talk over anyone, so it's just it's a difficult one for me. It's hard to keep up with all of WoW's gathering quests. There's not that many gathering quests! Unless you're playing Classic. If you're playing Classic, you will be killing things for an hour just to collect some objects. No. WoW is just get a few of those UI mods that make the story dialogue a bit bigger and it'll be fine, I think. You think? Maybe. I'll look into it, because obviously, so my subscription's about to run out. I will probably finish Outlands in Classic before it runs out. Which means that technically the next time I renewed my subscription, I could do a Northrend stream and do the story of Northrend. I've been doing a lot of thinking this week while I've not been streaming about like what kind of streamer I am and what kind of streamer I want to be. It's hard. Did you say Northrend? No, sorry, Northrend. Northrend? Sorry, it's just easier for me to put a E in the middle to say Northrend rather than just Northrend. Leave me be. Pure thinking dangerous? It is dangerous. I don't know. I've been doing anime character saying things weirdly, I don't think is an anime character thing. Is it? Is it? I don't know. But yeah, I've been thinking more about my streams. I think next year I'm gonna have like a whole stream about this. I'm gonna have you guys are getting like a preview. If you want to know, art and craft chatting have been my favourite purity this year. Games are okay. Games are okay. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about this more on the very last stream of the year. The very last stream of the year is going to be me talking about the New Year's resolutions I set myself last year, whether I achieved them or not, and what I want to do next year. Crafting streams and art streams, like traditional art streams and like customizing stuff, I think is what I want to do for my main stuff. Like, you guys know how for most of last year I had one art stream a week, and then when I started building the diorama I had one craft stream a week. I think I wanna go to like have it just be one game stream a week, and then everything else be some kind of like creativity thing, I think. Cause I like, what's that? Wait, what's that? I don't know what that expression is. What is that expression? I don't know what that expression is. I can't even hover over it. Where the fuck is my YouTube? Oh, red droopy eyes. I still don't know. I don't know what those emotes mean. Purity forsaking their gamer heritage. See? I started off VTubing definitely thinking that VTubing, like, and I feel like a lot of the time it is. Like, most of VTubers play games. You look at Hololive, they're playing video games. I don't think I wanna play video games. Oh yeah, I do want to play some. I do want to play, I want to play some video games, but I don't want that to be my main thing. I want to be creative. I want to make things. I want to, yeah. So yeah, that's a lot of what I've been thinking about for next year. More focus on the crafting and chatting and hanging out and being chill and cozy than being like, wow, Pro Gamer Puri is the best at video games. OMG, look at them. I don't know. Look at them winning games of whatever the fuck I play that you can win. I don't know. What do I play that you can win? I don't really play like PvP stuff. Purity hates video games. No. I don't hate video games. I guess video games has never actually been my go-to. Even though I went to college for video games, compared to most people, I've not played that many video games. Compared to most people that went to gamer college, I hadn't played many video games. So, yeah. More crafting, more cozy, more chatting, hanging out, making stuff next year. Yeah. The Stacy game. I wasn't the Stacy. There was a girl who did she was like the she came to she came to college in like a Galaxy Seifuku one time, and she had a Tumblr blog that she would scroll on at college. And she, like, I feel like she was closer to the Stacy than I was. I don't know what I was. Maybe the anime watcher? I think I was more the weeb. I was more the weeb at gamer college, I think. Yeah, I was the weeb. You have better taste in video games than most Twitch. Do I? I don't know. I don't know if I have better taste than most Twitch streamers. I know some of my tastes are very refined. Find another Gauntlet 7 Sorrows streamer out there. You can't. I am the only one. Maybe. I definitely didn't. You do that. That's not a hard part to pass. Hey. I feel like a lot of people have good taste in video games. I just don't know what those video games are. There's been a lot of people playing Dwarf Fortress. I'm still crying, screaming that I missed that VOD. I'm sorry. Did I don't know if I collected it myself. If I downloaded it, I'm unsure. Welp. Alright. I was meant to end stream 15 minutes ago. We went on another tangent. Let's go. So. I am going back on my break. This was my little break from my break, so to say. I will be back on Christmas Day. I am putting a tentative 8 p.m. time. Yeah, no, Hugs, how dare you tell How dare you say that? Oh, I not that through. There you go. So yeah, I'm going back on Christmas Day. I'm tentatively saying 8 p.m. GMT, which is 3 p.m. EST, 12 p.m. PST. I'm doing karaoke. The spirit of Justy's banhammer follows me a little bit. But for those of you that I do not see on Christmas, whether you're busy with stuff or whether you're going to be hanging out with others or anything like that, please do take care. Everyone, if you are celebrating Christmas, I do hope you have a very good time. If you're spending time with family or anything like that, I hope everything is peaceful and nice and gentle. Hope you have a gentle Christmas. And if you are not celebrating, if you're not doing anything for Christmas, then I just hope you have a really good weekend, and that it's not too cold, and or if you're in the southern hemisphere, I hope it's not too warm. And in the meantime, take care, get something to eat, get something to drink, get some rest, and I will see you guys soon. We're all back to normal. We're all back to normal on Monday. It's normal schedule. But yeah, until then, bye, good night, onyasumi. I'm not even gone yet. Jesus, alright. God, I'll go. Good night, bye.